You know, something I've noticed over the last 15, 20 years, unprecedented amount of people, young people, are leaving their faith in Christianity. Recent polls in the US show that in the last 15 years, over 15 million young people from the ages of 16 to 30 have walked away from their faith in Jesus Christ and in Christianity. And what we wanted to do was to look at the reasons why, and some of it may even blow your mind. We live in a day and age where social media is the number one thing that young people turn to on a daily basis and spend a huge amount of time going through all of their platforms. So we have to look at this with open eyes and realize that there's influences at play that are really targeting the young people and really changing people's views. When we look at YouTube, there's one person in particular called MrBeast, who is the biggest influencer on the planet. At the time of recording, he has 160 million followers. And from the offset, when you look at what he's done in terms of starting off, if you look at his early days, look at the banners that he had with the cross in John 3:65, he had a firm belief in Jesus Christ and a strong foundation in Christianity. He even went to Christian school, as you can see. Also, he even replied on comments saying at the start of his YouTube experience that he would keep giving praise to God, but as times changed, so did he. As he got more famous, it really progressed in terms of his switch and his change. And up to date, you can see he has now fully denied God and Jesus. Have a look at what he said on Logan Paul's show.
At all?
No, I'm not.
What about that Jesus?
No.
You say no.
Yeah, like,
Are you atheist?
You just asked the same question different ways. The answer's the same.
Atheist or agnostic?
Agnostic. Like, I mean, the universe is complex, and like, it's hard to believe someone didn't do it, but like.
Very, very sad just to hear this. You have to remember, 165 million followers, a lot of young followers, will really do everything that this guy will do, and a lot of them will turn away from faith and realize, or will make their own realization that they want to do what he is doing. And you know, the sad part is, Scripture tells us that if any man deny me before men, I will deny them before my Father. And they are the words of Jesus. So now I'm sure MrBeast started off with good intentions, and even his videos as a philanthropist giving away things. But you know, doing all the good deeds in life still doesn't get you to heaven. So we have to be very, very aware of these things that are happening. So a huge influencer that will have a huge impact on many people. But it's not only in the YouTube arena. You know, there is one person in the celebrity side, a singer called Katy Perry, who most of you know. But when you look back to where Katy started back in 2003, this is how she started. So she started off as a simple worship leader in a church, who by the looks, and if you look from the offset, it looks like she really knows what she's doing in terms of worshiping God and sincerity in her worship. And then obviously got noticed within Hollywood. And like all of us know, when things happen in Hollywood, things have to be done and have to be given up. And she even quoted in saying that she basically sold her soul for music. And a lot of these celebrities actually do that. They kind of turn away from their faith totally. These people have so much influence on a generation, and they're only replicating what's actually going on in the world. You know, a recent study showed that, as I said, over 15 million people in the last 10 years in the US walking away from Christianity. And some of the main reasons why is because you see this list here, top 3 reasons. One of the biggest reasons is, as you can see, it's over 20%, is because of how they identify in terms of their sexuality or gender. So the whole LGBT movement, and then further down we get into other reasons why they've left. What has the Scripture is true to its word. You know, when we look at what celebrities, whether it be YouTube or Hollywood, you know, Scripture tells us You know, what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world but loses his soul? You cannot take what they've gained, and you cannot take it to the grave. Psalm 49 also tells us that we shouldn't be looking at these people because of the riches that the house has made, because they cannot take a single thing with them when they descend. And so we should be wise. We should be teaching our kids that, you know, celebrities aren't everything. They're not the full guidance. But we've lost that in a generation. You know, really, these are signs of the times that we're living in. They're getting scarier and scarier. That we've seen that generation's getting so cold towards God, so cold towards Jesus, that they kind of do what they will is their motto, and to do whatever they want. And to me, this speaks volumes. Scripture tells us that a lot of times that, you know, many will turn from the faith. But not only that, this generation, this wicked generation, will be a generation that's only after themselves in terms of being boastful and full of pride and envy and all of these things, disobedient to parents. Scripture gives us a full indication of what that time would be like. To me, this is one of the biggest reasons why we're seeing a huge falling away from Christianity. But be mindful and knowing that times are drawing to a conclusion that Jesus will come back, but there's still time to be able to share the gospel, to get some of these kids and bring them back to Christ. And this is what we need to be doing. Remember, God's always in control. Keep the faith.